All right, Reddit has been brewing, and we have a very, very cool new brew here. This, while it looks like a Primeval Titan deck, is actually not that. Primeval Titan is the backup plan, if you can believe it, in this deck. What we're looking at today is Shifting Woodland, one of the new lands from Modern Horizons 3. This is not a reprint, this is a brand new card as far as I'm aware. And for basically a castle type of templating, we basically get an untapped forest in most situations here, as long as we can get one forest into play prior to this thing coming down. And this has a really cool Delirium ability. So if we have 4 more card types among cards in the graveyard, this might be land, creature, sorcery, instant in our case. We also have enchantment, and I believe that is it. If we can get 4 of those into the graveyard, then we have Delirium, and this thing for 4 mana can become a copy of a permanent card in my graveyard until end of turn. And if I have 4 more card types in my graveyard, then that will be really good. So what we want to do here is set up a little bit of a complex combo. This thing is intended to be reanimated through Aftermath Analyst. What we want to do is we want to get an Aftermath Analyst in the graveyard and copy it with Shifting Woodland. This means that Shifting Woodland, for an additional 4 mana, will be able to sacrifice itself and then return all lands from the graveyard to the battlefield. And they do come tapped, but with Spelunking, lands do enter the battlefield untapped, so we can say no to that. What this means is if we're returning lands that produce 4 or more mana, we'll then be able to bring these in and out of play. Shifting Woodland being able to sacrifice, where is it? We'll basically be able to return all these lands to the graveyard. From the graveyard to the battlefield, excuse me. And then the other thing is we have Sylvan Safekeeper here, a reprint in Modern Horizons 3, which allows us to then sacrifice all those lands that we brought back. And after floating the mana, we'll then be able to Shifting Woodland our Aftermath Analyst ability and be able to continue this loop. So what basically happens is you have to pay 4 mana in order to become a copy of Aftermath Analyst, and you have to have another 4 mana to sacrifice the Shifting Woodland through the ability. So this means that I made a mistake earlier. It's not 4 mana that we need to have, it's 8. So we really just need to get to a point in the game where we've played enough lands through Flare of Cultivation, through Primeval Titan, through whatever, that we're able to produce 8 mana with a Shifting Woodland Aftermath Analyst ability. And then what we do from there is we can either loop Fields of the Dead in order to make a bunch of zombies, or we can just go ahead and kill our opponent with Lush Oasis, which on ETB deals the damage to each opponent, and if we're just able to flicker it out infinitely, then that is a combo kill right there. We also get to Surveil with Hedge Maze as it comes in and out of play with Shifting Woodland and Analyst, meaning that we can get more cards into our graveyard, essentially self-mill, and win the game from there as well. So that is more or less the situation here. Oh, the other very cool thing that was discussed on Reddit, which if you read the title here, this is where I saw the discussion that led to this deck tech. They kind of provided all of the mechanics here, and then I decided to shove Primeval Titans in here as well. And we're going to kind of eventually come to the final form of the deck after my additions. But one cool thing from them was Cephalid Coliseum in here. Just a one of, because I'm not trying to pay life very often. But what we can do with this one is force our opponent to draw 3 cards if we have enough extra mana, as these things enter with Shifting Woodland and Spelunking and all that kind of stuff. That means that we can also self-mill our opponent to death. So not only is it direct damage, we can also self-mill. So really this just is good if we cannot... this is good if we're not able to kill our opponent with damage for whatever reason, like damage being prevented or something. Both of these still need to target, so we are soft with these combos to Leyline of Sanctity. However, Field of the Dead gets around that because we'll just make a huge army and kill the opponent. In terms of getting the mana here, we have Lotus Fields that both are sacrifice targets, or both sacrifice abilities that help us get our mana requirements. When Lotus Fields enter untapped, we can float 6 total mana plus, 2 others, and then sack a bunch of lands, and it's all good. And that is more or less kind of what this deck is trying to do. We want to get to a point where we have enough mana to Shifting Woodland into Aftermath Analyst and basically just infinitely do that till our opponent's dead. How we get to that point, like I mentioned before, we have a lot of different cards. We get to play Arboreal Grazer here. This is a decent card in general. Gets us a little bit of ramp. It also helps us with Flare of Cultivation, a card that is as a requirement we have to sacrifice a non-token green creature here. So we want Arboreal Grazers out. We want Sylvan Safekeepers out. Things like this. Aftermath Analysts can be a good fodder for this. And then we just go get a bunch of our lands. We have Planar Genesis here. Allows us to look at the top 4, find a land, put it onto the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, it goes to the hand. We also have Traverse the Ulvenwald, which additionally has the same delirium as Woodland, as Shifting Woodland. So this one is able to allow us to find any one of our combo creatures. It's able to help us find our Shifting Woodland. And this is a really good one to have at the end of the game. So this is the deck. Hope you guys enjoy taking a look at this with me. I think that this is something that we'll want to refine later, but for now, this is going to be a good first look at this archetype. We don't really have true land combos in Timeless, but this might be the first one that is viable. At least, at the very least, we do find a way to slot it into Primeval Titan here, and I'm hoping that this will be a compelling deck that people want to play. With that being said, let's hop into round 1 and see what this deck's got for us. I'm going to be making a couple changes to the lands here. And actually, I guess I might do that right now. Because we're playing Spelunking, one thing that we want to have is Hand War, which I think is spelled like that. Nope, it is not. Oh, yes, it is. All right, we want 1 copy of Hand War Battlements, 1 Stomping Ground. This just kind of allows us to get in there with the Primeval Titan right away once it comes into the battlefield. We're getting rid of the Colony Gardens because Flare of Cultivation needs non-token green creatures, and we're not playing Natural Order. And then I'm just going to put 1 more basic in here because of 4 Flare of Cultivations. So this is the deck after modifications, and the land base should be a decent one. I am hoping for some good games today. So let's hop into round 1 and see what this is actually going to look like in practice. Just a quick heads up, if you don't have time to watch the entire video, I would recommend taking a look at the 3rd round, where we have a very, very cool usage of the synergy between Shifting Woodland and a Primeval Titan in the graveyard. Here we go, this is round 1. I'm really excited for this one. We have Arboreal Grazer off the rip and a Shifting Woodland, which I'm pretty hyped about. This means that Sylvan Safekeeper can eventually come out. We have Traverse the Ulvenwald to look for a land, and eventually a Primeval Titan. This is great. Couldn't ask for more. All right. Uggin's Labyrinth here, so we are against Eldrazi. Let's see who can ramp their mana the fastest. Primeval Titan will be decent. We're going to shock Breeding Pool here. Go for Arboreal Grazer. If we die all at once, most likely. They held some priority there, and I'm not really sure what that was for. Put the Misty out. And then Sylvan Safekeeper can come out, I think, for now. It can protect Primeval Titan when that eventually comes down. I might traverse the Ulvenwald early, though. We'll see. Another Safekeeper, alright. Let's traverse the Ulvenwald here. Get something into our hand to put in with Misty Rainforest. To put in with this Arboreal Grazer. Alright, let's get this land out. Alright, so that is 3 unique land types. Misty Rainforest, I think, can find a 4th. We do have Surveil ability. We'll grab a Hedge Maze. And I think I'll wait for the Stomping Ground for Primeval Titan. And that will only work if we have a Spelunking on the battlefield. So Aftermath Analyst can go directly to the graveyard. We don't need it now. And we're good to pass here. Four mana, 2 creatures. Earthbender Quaddle. They're looking to counter a spell. Will they attack for 2? They will not. We're just going to have to go for Sylvan Safekeepers here. And we have to wait until we have mana for Primeval Titan. It's going to take us a little bit here. Shifting Woodland needs one more thing for Aftermath Analyst, and we need a couple more lands here. Maybe a Causal at command here. Scries X, then draws a card, sure. The scrying is going to be kind of tough here. There's a lot of colorless power spikes are going to happen at the 4 to 6 CMC range, so we kind of just got to hold on here, try to not get bucked off. Another Cavern of Souls. Now we can't stop whatever's coming. Not that we could have before. Ooh, Null Drifter with Annihilator is going to be tough. We're going to have to lose some Arboreal Grazers here. If it comes down to it, losing lands is not the end of the world. I think the worst thing for us now is just dying due to not having enough life. Moved my turn. Planar Genesis is a good card. We are looking for a land. I will take... Oh man, Splunking would be nice, but I think I have to take the Hedge Maze looking for something. Put this on to the battlefield, and we will take a land here of any type. This gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will be able to get Primeval Titan going next turn. No attacks here. We'll end turn. We're going to get Annihilated, probably stacking the Grazer here. And then after that, it's fine because we'll have Primeval Titan tokens, and that won't be a problem for me. Sylvan Safekeeper is going back to my hand now through Ugin's Binding. Sure. It's going to be tough whenever this thing gets cast, this 7 mana or greater thing. This just becomes a complete bounce. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana right now. This is tough. Oof, man. So I guess I lose everything here? Is that what happens? That is tough. That is tough. So then Null Drifter here, that with Evoke, we have Annihilator 1. What are we getting rid of? I guess the basic. That's the easiest one for us to get, and then we just play catch up from here, I believe. Okay, this is good. We go Arboreal Grazer, nothing to do with these, unfortunately. But we will get our board back out. I think we'll die due to not having enough life, though, sadly. That was definitely brutal. Ugin's Binding is a great, great card. I like that it also works off of Evoke. That's pretty cool. Alright, so blue tempo here. They're going to attack with the Null Drifter. Only one. They're worried about a potential attack here. We're going to sack the Grazer. I really hope that this next card is a block. Or the next card is something that is a land. Or something that could block. We'll take a land here? Yes, we will, baby. Alright, Breeding Pool. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 things. So we'll have to just go Primeval Titan here. Setting up for... Darn. Nothing, apparently. We'll have to resolve this. And our stuff will die. That means that we will be left for dead here in the air. I am not sure that we can survive this. I think I will just end up taking the damage. There's nothing we can really do that survives us here. And they even get to get another creature out here on our end step. Pretty strong deck here. Mono Blue Eldrazi. Pretty sweet. Ugin's Labyrinth. They will exile something here. They're just going Ugin, Null Drifter. Do they play Eldrazi? This would be kind of interesting information for me to see at the very least, because I would definitely like to play this at some point. They're exiling. What card? Elder Deep Fiend, sure. One of the older ones. Return the exile card to its owner's hand, sure. And they can cast this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite. They're going to attack in, though. We can't survive. We are done for. We'll sacrifice the land. And Annihilator, going to take us down here in round 1. We'll have many more times to not let this happen to us, but for now, this is going to be our welcome into Timeless for this deck. Let's move on to round 2 and see if we can't turn the tables here. Alright, here we go. This is round 2. Opening hand has Flare of Cultivation. It'll have to be cast off the Sylvan Safekeeper, which is not terrible. I think I'll probably go ahead and start off like that. We'll look to get Planar Genesis out on turn 2, so that means I want to shock for a Breeding Pool here. And then for Ulvenwald, we'll have instant creature land, so we'll just be 1 away from Traverse the Ulvenwald on Delirium. After Flare, though, actually, we should be good. So turn 3, I believe, we'll have Ulvenwald with Delirium. Alright, so here's our Misty. We will shock a Breeding Pool in here. We will go Sylvan Safekeeper, immediately into Flare of Cultivation, and we will find probably 2 blue since we have 2 green. Put 1 onto the battlefield, 1 into hand, and here we go. Oh, we're actually going to get Ulvenwald on turn 2. That's crazy. Okay, cool. So we'll go Planar Genesis. Let's see if we find a good land here. We don't necessarily need to take a land here. I think I'm actually happy to take Aftermath Analyst. That is a combo piece that we need. And then now we have Delirium on Ulvenwald. What will I want to take here? So we have Analyst here. We don't have our Shifting Woodlands. And then we will need to have a Sylvan Safekeeper on the battlefield. I think that I am more likely to want... my Shifting Woodland now. And we'll put that in with Spelunking next turn. So we'll have exactly 5 mana here. That is Shifting Woodland, Spelunking plus Aftermath Analyst, getting Woodland in. Flare of Cultivation, also nice, but now we don't really have a creature that we want to get rid of, so we'll see. I will go Spelunking. We get to draw a card. There's our Sylvan Safekeeper. We are about to be on it. Let's go Shifting Woodland here. We'll go Misty Rainforest, and then next turn with a Sylvan Safekeeper on the battlefield, we should be good to execute here. I can even take a Surveil then, and then play Safekeeper now into Analyst next. Oh yeah, and it comes in untapped, so it actually doesn't matter at all. We can Arboreal Grazer, Flare of Cultivation, or I can just mill this over. I think I'll mill it over. Alright, cool. So then we'll just go Aftermath Analyst here, mill a little bit, look to get some lands in the graveyard. We will find another land here, and I don't think I will want to Aftermath Analyst currently. Except actually, yeah, it's a permanent card in your graveyard, and while I do already have one in there... Oh no, I did it backwards. I have a Sylvan Safekeeper in the graveyard, Aftermath Analyst on the battlefield, so we will actually sacrifice it to Flare of Cultivation. Finding out a few more of our lands here. And then I guess we'll go Sylvan Safekeeper. Even better. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana currently. We are just about able to Shifting Woodland here. We'll need, I think, 1 extra turn. Rizzo's Construction Drone is coming down, sure. We'll pass. No blocks. And in terms of lands in the graveyard, what do we have? We don't have a payoff currently for our Infinity TBs. And for that reason, I might need to just take a little bit of time here. Mesmeric Orb is perfect. This is going to help us get there. Yeah, let's just move to our turn here. Resolve all. And if we hit something good here, we can make it work. Hand War Battlements is not bad, but it's not the answer that we're looking for. Field of the Dead is perfect. Now we do have the ability to go infinite. I just need to do a land count real quick. So Field of the Dead itself will be 6, Hand War will be 7. We are chilling. So let's go like this. We'll go shifting woodland, until end of turn though. So I think we do need to wait one more turn. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll need a little bit more mana. So we have to go Spelunking this turn. Spelunking will give me a draw, and then we'll put this onto the battlefield. We are looking pretty darn good. We'll pass. We will attack for 1, because why not? Alright, now as long as our board doesn't get dealt with here, we should go infinite next turn. We don't have any artifacts that Karn turns off, so that's fine. Opponent is on about a 100 card deck here with Yorion. Looks like they just are playing a bunch of colorless things. We have some power plants. They will seek another one of these. We go to 10 here, but hopefully we can kill this turn. Golos Tyler's Pilgrim is a potential issue, but not necessarily for us right now. Here we go. I think we are about to do the thing. Alright, and we're going to mill a few cards here. Hopefully we will find something good. Another Field of the Dead is great. Another Shifting Woodland is good. Hedge Maze gives me Surveil, and now we are able to combo off completely. So, Shifting Woodland will become a copy of our good friend, the Aftermath Analyst. And now we will be able to go Arboreal Grazer coming untapped, but it's fine. This is just a basic land. We're going to activate Aftermath Analyst, and we will return all these things to the battlefield. This is going to be a lot of Field of the Dead critters here. And we will start to surveil. We find another one of these guys, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. We do need to fetch with the Misties, though. So this will be a breeding pool, enters tapped, comes in untapped, let's go. Misty Rainforest again here. And then we will get Stomping Ground. We will enter tapped here again. And what we'll do now here is we're going to tap everything for mana. And I wish there was a little bit of a better way to do this. This is enough mana to activate Shifting Woodland. Let me just make sure that is exactly 8 mana, perfect. And then now we need to Sylvan Safekeeper and sacrifice all our lands here. This might take a little bit to do, but it does need to happen. So we will target just pretty much these things that do interesting things for us. We only have so many creatures to target here, but we should be able to get all of our lands back, and we will continue to have more once the zombies come out. This is definitely a bit of a slow situation here as we're sacking all these lands. And then, of course, I was supposed to do this on the initial casting of my Shifting Woodland, or the activation, that is. We want to sacrifice Field of the Dead. And I think actually at this point, this is probably enough cards. We have so many things in graveyard that this should be totally fine. All of our things have hexproof. I'm just going to continue going all the way for this round 1, and then we'll do the math in later rounds and try to just minimally kill our opponent. Yeah, actually, you know what? I don't want this to go too long. Let's go ahead and stop here. We'll just do our 10th zombie. And there we go. So now we will go ahead and Shifting Woodland, copy our good friend, the Aftermath Analyst, wherever it did go. Aftermath Analyst. And Aftermath Analyst will activate. And we will show them infinite zombies. Enters tap. Bam, there goes everything. We have to make sure that we at least sack 8 per turn, which is relevant. So now we have so many different things. Sylvan Safekeeper can go into the graveyard, I'd say. And we just need to make sure that we don't mill ourselves out here. So I will actually just leave these things on top. We are going to have to pass the turn here, except we don't need to because we can hand war battlements. And honestly, I could 1-turn kill if I were to just continue this loop over and over, but let's not do that. We are going to not attack here end turn, and we'll just kill our opponent with about 100 power next turn. Now, this is potentially a situation where they have an Ugin here, and then we just lose our board. But if it weren't so tedious to click through all these things, I could technically give all my things haste. It is what it is. Alrighty. Radiant Fountain. That 2 life is probably not going to help you, but this is 7 mana, and there is the Ugin. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I can execute this combo next turn as well. They will kill our Spelunking, which sucks. And I think that at this point we're kind of just done for. That's unfortunate, yeah. Should have played around the Ugin, but we'll take this one as a in the head victory, even though we are going to die. This is fine. I mean, they have attacked all in, so while I'm not set up, I think I can get kind of close to coming back here. So what we'll do is, this is going to mill us a little bit. There's our Lush Oasis, so we're going to Delirium, we're going to copy our, where is it? Sylvan Safekeeper. Game has frozen, I guess I'll be right back. Okay, we are back after the crash, and I have to figure out a way to try to resolve this combo. So we find a Lotus Field, that's a little bit better here. We're going to use another Shifting Woodlands to copy our Aftermath Analyst. Here we go. Then now we'll play a land here, make some zombies. We will go... we want to QQ all our mana. We want to Sylvan Safekeeper, target this, get rid of a Shifting Woodland. Sylvan Safekeeper needs to also take Hand War Battlements. Sylvan Safekeeper should also probably take Field of the Dead. And it also needs to take second Field of the Dead, because why not? Then we'll go traverse the Ulvenwald here with our floating mana. We are able to find Spelunking, I hope. No, we don't have a Spelunking here anymore. Primeval Titan is a good attacker, I suppose, so we will do this. We will play Primeval Titan with our floating mana here. We will take the action here. We can find Lotus Field and Cephalid Coliseum. Oh, I probably should have gotten the Lush Oasis, whoops. We're going to get rid of Lotus Field and another Shifting Woodland. And sadly, these are going to come back in untapped, so it is what it is. Misty can be fetched, but yeah, this will just end up killing us. Okay, so yeah, we weren't able to make it out. Unfortunately, the Ugin kind of rained on our parade here. We did not necessarily need to pass the turn, and let me explain why, even though I wasn't able to fix things here. So we end up on a situation where we have both Sylvan Safekeeper and our, where is it, Aftermath Analysts on the battlefield, whether those be the actual creatures or the Shifting Woodlands. And then basically we need to sack all of our lands with the Sylvan Safekeeper, basically getting back all of our utility lands into the graveyard, and then we just start looping those back infinitely. Now this is going to include both our Stomping Ground and Hand War Battlements, which when they enter untapped with Spelunking are going to be able to give one creature haste at a time. It's definitely really slow. You could make the case for playing something that gives everything haste, but honestly this is something that if you were playing it in paper you would kind of just you know, explain the combo in words, and hopefully you'd be able to shortcut there, because I don't think there's any randomness. There's no randomness that happens here. For us in this game, we're going to take the loss, even though we pretty much had a deterministic win. It's just on Arena you can't really shortcut things effectively. So it is what it is. We are going to take that one as a win in our book and move on to round 3 and try to get an actual kill as Arena sees it. Anyway, here we go. All right, here we go. This is round 3. We have Flare of Cultivation off of an Arboreal Grazer, which is extremely strong, so I think I will do that. Sylvan Safekeeper, also pretty decent. We're likely to just want to keep this one on the battlefield. We'll keep this hand. Let's see what our opponent's got for us here. It's a Hollowed Fountain. Let's go for Misty Rainforest Shocking Breeding Pool. Play our Boreal Grazer. Will this be allowed to happen? Hard to say. Could be Stifle. No, it's not. Okay. Pay 2 life here. Go Grazer. We're going to hold priority here as soon as it resolves. It'll be just a consider here, so we can stop doing that. We will resolve this. Then resolve our spell. Alrighty. Yep, we will put the Shifting Woodland onto the battlefield tapped. We will then go Flare, sacking our Grazer. Land. We have enough blue currently, and that was a very good turn 1 here. We have 3 mana on the draw. Sylvan Safekeeper as well this turn. We're going to do another Grazer thing. See if this one's allowed to resolve. Sweet. Let's go ahead and put this out. And then I think I'm going to go Flare of Cultivation, just hard cast. We can just leave the Grazer in case that ends up being relevant. Spell Pierce here would suck. Nope, we're allowed to have it. Perfect. And, I mean, this is turn 2 and we have 6 mana, so that's pretty sweet. We also have 3 types in the graveyard, so once we hit any of our Delirium cards, we're going to be pretty good. So this is definitely nice. Not often that you can ramp this hard in green even. Traverse the Ulvenwald, we are super, super close here. I already have a land in graveyard, correct? Yes, I do. I also have a creature in graveyard, so I'm going to need to find an instant at some point. Unfortunately, Ulvenwald will not be it. Let's just drop a Sylvan Safekeeper for now. See if they want to counter this one. They do not. We'll get another Safekeeper out. And I think we pass. No need to sack a land right now. We will see what happens. We can give all of our stuff hexproof, though. That is good if they decide to pitch a Solitude. Except, actually, that's not really the case. It's good if they have any spell that targets. But Solitude's an ETB, so it doesn't really matter. We can't fizzle it. Move to our turn here. Spelunking's great. Let's attempt to cast that. If they counter this, we just go Traverse the Ulvenwald into Spelunking again. As the enchantment will be our 4th type. Oh, nice. We're actually allowed to have this. This is perfect. We'll put the Misty down. And let's go ahead and Traverse. See if that resolves. Oh, whoops! I totally messed up. I thought that I had my Delirium. Whoops. Okay, so we'll attack here. They can pitch cast and ephemerate a Solitude or Subtlety. Am I worried about that? I'm not necessarily worried about that because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Yeah, if it ends up in a situation where I have to reanimate Sylvan Safekeeper and our other guy, I'll need 12 total mana to make that work. So I think I don't attack here. And we just go for 1 big kill. It'll be a Shark Typhoon, so we would have gotten ambushed anyway. Glad that we decided not to go in here. This just makes things a little bit easier for us. Next turn, we go Misty Rainforest here. And we have to see about getting a good card here. We're definitely going to block this. That 2/2 is an unfortunate size for them. And we have to move to our turn here. I'm going to find a Surveil land off of the Misty. I think they're definitely holding up counter magic here, though. That's for sure. We'll take a Surveil. Planar Genesis? I think Planar Genesis is good. This gives me an instant and it forces them to counter. We will take this because if we can resolve it, we get some good stuff. So no matter what happens here, I'm okay with the result. Primeval Titan is good. Now the issue is what happens when they decide to counter this anyway? I mean, regardless, I'm going to Primeval Titan now, and actually what can happen is I can make Shifting Woodland a Primeval Titan, even if this gets countered. As long as they don't exile it, we should be fine. Counterspell's okay. I think I'm not attacking again. Okay, they Brainstorm here. They'll need to find specifically creature removal here. I wonder if attacking with Sylvan Safekeeper could bait any of that out. I am dubious about that, but I basically just want to have Shifting Woodland to copy my Primeval Titan. Meticulous Archive, sure. I think I'm not attacking. I've decided now. Not going to be the move for now. And we actually want to keep the Sylvan Safekeepers around because we can give the Shifting Woodland hexproof. Otawara. Sounds good to me. Let's move to my turn here. Lotus Field is not bad. Lotus Field comes in untapped with Spelunking. Let's start with the Shifting Woodland activation. We're going to copy a Primeval Titan. Let's see if this gets to resolve. This is not a spell. Can't be countered. They can stifle it, though. Alright, cool. This is going to happen. Let's move to combat and attack with Primeval Titan. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 land types. What are we thinking here? Archmage's Charm. They'll draw 2 cards. Fine. And what did they find? So we're going to get an attack trigger with Primeval Titan. That's good. We're going to search for 2 lands here. Lotus Field will be my 7th land here. I kind of wish I had played that pre-combat, unfortunately. We're going to get this, and then I guess Cephalid Colosseum's pretty good. We don't have cards to discard, though, unfortunately. I might take Lush Oasis, because if I'm able to start comboing, then that does kill. Alright, let's do that. Field of the Dead, we'll ping them for 1. Then we will see how they block. Alright, we'll trample over for 4. Okay. Perfect. And then we're going to go Lotus Field here, sacking 2 lands. We'll make a zombie. We'll resolve this, sacking 2 of our basic forests. And we will end turn here. Primeval Titan goes back to being a Shifting Woodland. Alright, so we can do that again next turn here, and we'll have this Field of the Dead to work with. Sylvan Safekeeper will keep my Primeval Titan safe. Even if they decide to Wrath the board, Shifting Woodland will get through. They'll likely need to Wrath into targeted removal, which is very awkward for them. It's going to be a big delve here. You got it. Alright, the Brainstorm resolves. They have 5 mana, including 1 fetch. That will put them very close to death. Alright, and it looks like they cannot deal with Shifting Woodland copying Primeval Titan. This is a very good new interaction for these Primeval Titan decks, and I mean, for this deck in particular, we are seeing how strong of an effect that is. Pretty darn sweet, and let's move into round 4 with the same deck. Alright, here we go, round 4. We have had a very good time thus far with this deck. Now we have Aftermath Analyst into Flare of Cultivation, which is nice. Again, I'm going to go Misty Rainforest into Shocked Breeding Pool into maybe this basic, actually, to hide the plan here. And yeah, we're going to just ramp towards this Primeval Titan, and then if it ends up in the graveyard, we'll just run it back with Shifting Woodland. Should be a good time for us. We're going to immediately crack our Misty. They will go ahead and do that prior. We will shock this Breeding Pool, go Sylvan Safekeeper. Let's see if there is a Spell Pierce in this deck. It will just be a Surveil, sure. We're going to let the Safekeeper stay. We're going to sack the Analyst on 2. That's going to look like a weird play to the opponent. We'll see if they are able to understand what we're on very early. We see Collected Company, so this is going to be a interesting build here. Let's go Aftermath Analyst, see what we mill. See if this resolves, first of all. It does. So what will we mill over? We mill Hedge Maze, and we have a Traverse the Elven Wald. So some lands in the graveyard, which is nice. We're going to cast with alternate cost, sacking our Aftermath Analyst, finding, I think, just 2 green mana sources. It'll be a Vidalian Hexcatcher. Will they decide to counter this? Looks like they will. Alright, fine. So we're playing Merfolk. That does hurt my ramp quite a bit. Well, we do have a lot of lands in our hand right now. I get to play around Vidalian Hexcatcher next turn with Planar Genesis, unless they play something now, something later. Or actually, if they play a land here. Spreading Seas, interesting. We're not really going to have a problem with everything becoming islands. We do want to find green sources as soon as possible, though. The 3 mana Blood Moon in blue is going to be a problem for us, though. Traverse the Elven Wald does fix things a little bit. So let's go find a green. Let's get that green out early. Then let's go Planar Genesis, looking for something good. We find Shifting Woodland, Hedge Maze. I think Hedge Maze is nice here. Let's put it onto the battlefield tapped. Surveilling away a Lotus Field. Now we'll have 5 mana after this. If I play Lotus Field this turn, we will end up with a Primeval Titan turn. That's pretty good. But then Lotus Field getting islanded will be very bad for us. Alright, we'll attack for 1. End turn. So if they drop that 1 card right now, this is going to suck. Harbinger of the Islands or whatever. Harbinger of the Sea. There it is. Non-basic lands are islands, sure. So now we need something else here. This Lush Oasis is going to be a problem. We do not kill like this anymore. And we actually do need a way to kill a Harbinger. Unfortunately, Primeval Titan now doesn't really do much. So yeah, we're gonna have to kind of see what to do. This is kind of a hard lock for us. Master of the Pearl Trident here. Sure. Mistcaller, that's pretty cool. This is very good against our land-based combos. They kind of seem to be very optimized against us here. At the very least, we can get a Primeval Titan out the next time we find a basic island. We'll pass. Harbinger of the Seas on 3 is pretty brutal. Island Walk means we can't even block it, so we have to force them to block. Now their stuff has a ward, and they're likely to be able to kill and block my Primeval Titan. This is just nutty. Opponent's going off here. Harbinger of the Seas, very, very good against decks like me. I think we kind of just take this, see what our next turn is, and ultimately concede because opponent's got us dead to rights here. We will go to our turn. Flare of Cultivation here at least can be cast. We will go Flare of Cultivation, sacking a Sylvan Safekeeper here. And we can find some basic lands. I would think so. There we go. 1, 2. Put onto the battlefield. This one comes in untapped as well. We do get a Primeval Titan. Pretty much this thing killing my opponent with attack damage is all that we can do. We'll just have to show them Lotus Field and Field of the Dead. Let them know what we were on. We'll pass here, and opponent is going to get the win on this turn. Pretty nice tempo with Harbinger of the Seas. The Vidalian Hexcatcher stacking itself as a Mana Tithe was pretty strong, and a good move by them. Alright, so that will be the end of round 4. We'll have to go into round 5 looking for one more win. Alright, 5th and final round. We got one more chance to do it. This is pretty nice. We have Aftermath Analyst. Planar Genesis is going to be our ramp for the turn, and then we'll go into Spelunking after. Vexing Bauble here is not really too much of an issue for me. We'll go Misty Rainforest here. I think I'll Traverse most likely. I do have Enchantment Creature Instant Sorcery, though. It's pretty likely that will hit for any one of our Deliriums. I think that I might go for holding the Traverse, and I'll go for a Surveil here to try to find another type. That's a land. We do need a bunch of lands at some point, but I think we will end up drawing them. It's also fine to have lands in the graveyard in this deck. Ruby Medallion. We might be on Red Storm here. Second land here. Planar Genesis is probably a good one to get a ramp out. We will find Hedge Maze. This is a good one. Do I need Spelunking? No. Do I need Traverse? No. We will put this onto the battlefield. And we will mill over an Aftermath Analyst. That's good to have in the graveyard. That is creature land and instant. So a sorcery will do it for us. I think I might just go ahead and traverse the Ulvenwald. We're going to have 4 lands, 5 lands next turn, so we'll be just 1 away from Primeval Titan going. Amped Raptor, how do we combo here? I don't quite see it. Ruby Medallion making things cheaper. You may cast that card by paying stuff equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. So I see 2 reducers, both in Medallion and Amped Raptor. I'm not sure that I see the combo here. Alright, so here we go, Spelunking. Draw a card, put the Breeding Pool down. We'll get Breeding Pool down, put it in tapped, which enters untapped. Aftermath Analyst is pretty good. This can mill me into Delirium. And then the following turn, you just have Primeval Titan. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. All these things are looking good. We actually can just go Shifting Woodland next turn. Aftermath Analyst will die. Totally fine. So once they tap out, we basically just get to go nuts with Shifting Woodland. Alright, we take some damage here, but we go Primeval Titan. Now, what I can do here is, unfortunately, not get a hasty Primeval Titan since Stomping Ground is in my hand. Shifting Woodland can attack, though. It's kind of the same as me casting Primeval Titan, though. Let's shock. Well, we don't need to shock. We'll just Primeval Titan. This also gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands, so we just go 6, 7. This should resolve. Nice. They will deal 5 damage to this? No, they will have enough to kill Primeval Titan. We still get the trigger though, so this is fine. Take action. So we want Field of the Dead, and then we need another unique land. I think Hanwar Battlements might be good. I can get another Shifting Woodland, but then that doesn't help me get my 7. I'll do Lush Oasis, actually. Alright. 4 damage on the battlefield. Traverse the Ulvenwald we're getting very close to being able to do. Unfortunately, it's not on just yet. We'll play the Safekeeper. And I think we pass. Alright, so Shifting Woodland activation next turn gives me a bunch of zombies. We should be able to out-aggro our opponent from this position, I think. Amped Raptor is here. I don't see a Storm potential just yet. They have a lot of energy, but it does not do much. I think they're more equipped to deal with a mid-range deck. Amped Raptor, should I kill this? No, not really. I don't think we need to. Alright. They have Spectacle here. Who knows if that's going to be relevant? Looks like it's not. We're going to go Misty here to optimize on Field of the Dead. Make a zombie. Then now we will... Oh, wait, no, we don't have Shifting Woodland activation. If I play Sorcery, will that give me it? I think it will. So I will play this Traverse. Actually, opponent doesn't even want to see it. We will take round 5 here just by presenting mere 2 zombies. I'm going to go ahead and re-queue one more time here because that is not at all satisfying to end on. I think that we can get one more good one with the combo. I at least want to attack with a Shifting Woodland in some form. If I can get the actual land-based combo off, that'd be pretty nice. And I would definitely, at least for this round, attempt to manually click through everything. We'll see if I get the opportunity, though, as we queue into the bonus round 5. Alright, so this hand has the Aftermath Analyst. We have Field of the Dead and Lush Oasis. I'm honestly not super stoked on this one. I think we can ramp a little bit faster. Spelunking's great. Analyst is great. Primeval Titan is great. I think I get rid of the Safekeeper. Alright, let's put this out. Mill some stuff with Aftermath Analyst. They will surveil. They keep it on top. They pass to me. Alright. We want to get things out of our hand as soon as possible here. Let's make sure that we have blue. Let's go Aftermath Analyst. We'll mill 3. Oh, double flare is unfortunate. Kind of would have liked those in my hand. It is what it is, though. If they take our Primeval Titan eventually, it's okay. We just want to get Spelunking down. I think that's kind of the one thing that we need. Okay, it'll be Fury on Aftermath Analyst. That's okay. Will they reanimate Fury is the question. This gives me 3 out of 4. Might have reanimate here. It'll be a troll. They still can reanimate. We have to watch out for Primeval Titan, actually. Alright, Verdant Catacombs. They might be reanimating here. I guess it's better that they do it on their Fury than on my Primeval Titan, but hard to say. Yeah, they're looking to reanimate something out of mine. Nope, okay, it's just the troll. So we can go Shifting Woodland here into Spelunking, get another Shifting Woodland out. Another Aftermath Analyst here. We just have 1 mana here. We're going to take a hit from Troll. That's not great. Deathrite Shaman. Ooh, that eats my graveyard, which is really bad. And a Bowmaster is hitting the card draw. Things might be tough in this matchup. Like, we might be dead in a turn or 2. Flare of Cultivation is a sorcery. Is that what we're missing? No, we have sorcery. We have island, or we have land creature sorcery. Well, that's unfortunate. Aftermath Analyst isn't even going to really do it for us. I think I'll go Analyst now, get the mill. There's a bunch of things to bring back. I think we go Grazer now. Well, it's a little awkward because Grazer doesn't get any land into play. We'll play the Grazer here. Nothing to do here. And then do I block? Maybe I just block. No, but then I need to set up for Primeval Titan next turn. So we're going to do this, sacking the Grazer. We have to chump the Aftermath, sadly. And we only have 3 land types, which is not good. We will not have zombies next turn. Oh, but I have Hand War Battlements and the ability to get a shock land, so we should be able to activate. They'll gain some life here. We're losing our ability to have Delirium. Oh, I actually can't even block here. Okay. I can go Cephalid Coliseum here after the Primeval Titan stuff goes down. Yep. Primeval Titan, does it come down? Yes, it does. Does this resolve or do they kill it in response? We need it to survive. So we go Hand War Battlements and where is our red land? I was about to say, don't tell me it's in the graveyard. Alright, here come those guys. Hand War Battlements will give our Primeval Titan haste, and that will at least be able to get in. Let's go ahead and Primeval Titan attack. Take 2. 1 Field of the Dead in the library, and Field of the Dead doesn't really do it here. We're going to get Lush Oasis here just to be some damage. And we'll make some blockers here. Now we're able to block the Troll. And we're going to be in an awkward position with this Troll of Khazad-dûm. They still take 5. And we will go Cephalid Coliseum here. Cephalid Coliseum could be an activation here. We'll have to see. We have to block Troll, otherwise we lose to Deathrite Shaman. Luckily, we have 3 zombies to do so. Short. If they kill Primeval Titan, it's not the end of the world either. This is going to come down to, I think, the next turn or two is when the game will be decided. Okay, they're just actually hard casting Grief. That's fine. We have nothing to discard. And I can just take a draw 3, discard 3 here. And just try to fill my graveyard up for Aftermath Analyst. Okay, so what happens here if I go to 1? I die, so I do need to block. Okay. And I think I should be able to kill with Lush Oasis here in Aftermath Analyst. If I can just get Shifting Woodland to be delirious, then we're good. So the Cephalid Coliseum will hopefully be my answer here. I think we move to my turn here. I go draw 3, discard 3. I do take some damage here, which is not good. We'll let Bowmasters do its thing. Discard 3. There's a Spelunking in the graveyard, so Shifting Woodland is activated. That means that we don't care if Aftermath Analyst dies. We'll see if they go to the face. Oh, and you know what? This might be problematic because of Deathrite Shaman. This is going to be tough. I don't know if I can do it. We have the Shifting Woodlands. I don't think we have enough mana. Okay, I'm going to move to my turn. See what we draw here. This is an important draw. Traverse the Ulvenwald. What does that mean for me? Traverse the Ulvenwald finds Aftermath Analyst, but it won't be hasty. 4, 8. Yeah, we need another 4 lands for this to work. What does Traverse get me? I really need to think about this, because if I go for a copy on Aftermath Analyst, they're just going to fizzle me. And I need that to get my second Field of the Dead back. Now what I'm thinking is I go Traverse for Primeval Titan, cast Primeval Titan, give it haste with Hanwar Battlements. And I think that's enough, and then we just trigger Field of the Dead a bunch. Okay, I think that's the answer. Okay, so we find Primeval Titan. We look to see how the auto tapper works here. We retain Stomping Ground and Hanwar Battlements. Perfect. I think we have them here. And we'll also ramp enough, I think, to get our other stuff going on. So we will find Lotus Field here. Lush Oasis. We're going to get rid of 2 of our duplicate lands here. Sack 2 lands. 1, 2. Oh, the Shifting Woodland is tapped, though. All right, so we want to get a 3rd Shifting Woodland if it exists. We go Hanwar Battlements activation. Now we hit for 12, which I think is just lethal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we have lethal. So I'm trying to think about what the second half of this looks like, because I still think I could have activated my Shifting Woodland. Primeval Titan gets 4 lands. So I would have 4 additional lands. I would have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, except I would only have 8 because one of those would have to be a Shifting Woodland. And did I have another Shifting Woodland is the question. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So then I would have 8 mana, Shifting Woodland. Shifting Woodland comes in, but it would have Summoning Sickness. I would not be able to activate. All right, well, very close to being able to make that happen. If I had decided to use Hanwar Battlements in a different way, that could also have been a way that I almost win. But double Primeval Titan is enough power to kill my opponent from this position, so we'll take it. That brings us to the end of round 5 and the end of the deck in general. This was actually an amazing deck to play. I was kind of surprised that we ended up relying more on the Primeval Titan Shifting Woodland synergy, but that really just shows you how versatile this new card is. With that being said, the combo itself was fun. I'm glad we got to execute it once and bring back things with Aftermath Analyst a bunch. Unfortunately, that is a combo that requires too many clicks, so we weren't able to actually finish the game with it. But this has been a really great deck regardless. If you're interested in playing it for yourself, the deck list will be in the video description. And please make sure to like and comment, which helps me with the YouTube algorithm. channel's growing, and I'm grateful for it, but we can always ask for a little bit more. With that being said, that brings us to the end of the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will see you in the next video.